Hey people, it is September the 1st on Monday afternoon, 4:30 p.m. and it also happens to be Labor Day, which is a statutory holiday. And I'm standing on the corner of Carlton Street and Church Street. But as you can see, even though it's a statutory holiday, it's quite busy and bustling, and the Loblaws across the street is open for business. And I think you'll find that a lot of places in downtown Toronto are open for business today, despite the fact that it is a statutory holiday. I thought I'd take a walk around downtown just to see what is open here on Labor Day. I think it's around 24 degrees Celsius, a very sunny and pleasant day. I'm going to head over to Yonge Street. Not sure what was happening there. I think someone had made a home of that location. This is where the old Golden Griddle used to be. That's not open, obviously. And I think it was another restaurant after the Golden Griddle, which also went under. But as I was saying, I'm going to make my way over to Yonge Street. We'll head north up Yonge Street for a bit. Just check out what's going on downtown's main drag. You'll find in downtown Toronto on most statutory holidays, it seems like business as usual more often than not. I think Christmas Day might be the only day where it actually seems like a holiday. But even then there are things open on Christmas Day, especially along Yonge Street. I think Yonge Street has an exemption allowing things to open on stat holidays, since it's considered a tourist zone, and there's a few other neighborhoods around downtown that also have that exemption. Carlton Cinemas is open. Anything good playing? Harry Potter and Jaws for $5. I think it was Harry Potter 4. That's right, it's the 50th anniversary of Jaws. So it's back in the theaters. But you can see it there for $5. I'm actually taking advantage of this exemption because I'll be going to a grocery store later on. And I chose to go to the Metro here at Yonge and College. As I mentioned, the Loblaws is also open, just where I was. Some other grocery stores, though, that aren't right near the Yonge corridor are closed today, such as the Metro on Gould Street, which is the one I usually go to. The one that's closest to where I live. That one is closed on stat holidays. But it's just a quick walk to go to a couple other nearby options for me. I live in one of the best neighborhoods downtown. If you want to be within walking distance of a large number of grocery stores. And more keep opening too. To me, if it's a 15-minute walk or less, that is a store I would put on the list. All right, we'll check out a bit of Yonge Street heading north. I think it's safe to say that every restaurant along here is open, other than maybe Chick-fil-A, although they're closed on Sundays all the time, but I'm not sure about on the Labor Day. They might actually be open. That guy chimed in on Labor Day as I walked past. Still waiting for some new retailers to come and fill up the spaces at the base of this new building.
Can I see a picture?
I seem to be walking on the sunny side of the street here. These are all new restaurants along here. And a couple other non-restaurants. I think I'll cross to the other side of the street actually, just to get in the shade. Even though it's not humid right now, the sun still feels quite hot when you're just fully exposed. The ultraviolet rays are strong. It's much better. Everything seems to be open from what I can see. Even the adult mart here, that's open 24 hours.
Horsepower or 0 to 60?
How does this compare to some other cities? Maybe someone in the comments can let me know. What's it like in their city downtown on Labor Day? Does it actually look like a holiday? Or just like any other day?
Maybe.
So many new restaurants along here. Seems like another new one opens up every other week. And some close, obviously, and then a new one replaces it. I always thought that building looked a bit in need of some TLC. Looks like it needs a good scrubbing. There's a neat shot looking south. You can actually see the Sky Tower way down at the foot of Yonge Street. This building was all rough and dirty looking like its neighbor there, but they actually did sort of clean this one up. Gave it a nice sandblasting. It used to be all painted white, I think, and they returned it back to its natural brown brick color. See, it has a shop up on the second floor. A claw machine arcade is up there on the second floor. That used to be a big adult store. An adult toy store, I guess you could say. Korean Premium Dessert Cafe. I think these are fairly new, replacing some of the other things that used to be there. Well, it continues the same up Yonge with lots of shops and restaurants all open for business. I'm gonna maybe veer off of Yonge here. Maybe I'll head over to Bay and then we'll go south down Bay. I'll sort of do a loop. Maybe I'll end up at the College Park Metro store at the end of the video. think this is St. Joseph Street. It's one of my favorite sort of side streets connecting Yonge and Bay. It's quite charming. Canadian Music Center is inside that massive old mansion. Great old apartment buildings. Got some Art Deco finishes on this building. The Clover Hill Apartments. I think I can go. Maybe they're waiting for me to cross. Someone's moving in today. It is the first of the month. Moving into a very nice area. I wouldn't mind living on this street. I think I'd like it very much, actually. Maybe one of these old apartment buildings will become future home of Ken. All right, let's go south down Bay. Obviously, this is not going to be as busy as Yonge Street. But there's quite a lot of businesses along Bay Street, even though it might not seem as obvious at first glance as on Yonge Street. Almost every building along Bay Street has shops and restaurants at the base. I'm just curious to see, since we're not on Yonge itself, how much of this stuff is open. And most of the restaurants that I can see are open.
Is it like an online school or?
Oh, got another person moving in. So all these people who are working today, they get paid time and a half, I believe. Since it is a stat holiday. I think a lot of employers give people the choice whether or not they want to come in and work on the stat holiday, getting time and a half. But I'm sure others have no choice and they just are scheduled whether they want to be here or not. I guess it all depends on where you work. Coffee Island. Very nice tree cover here on Bay Street. If the tall buildings aren't providing you with shade, then at least these trees are. Even if you are walking on the sunny side of the street, you're still doing okay. Is this subway closed? It kind of looks like it is closed. There's a big sign that says open, but it doesn't seem to be open. I don't know, it's hard to tell. I don't see any activity in there. I'm just kind of curious. The lights are on. Maybe it is open. Just might not happen to have anyone in there at the moment, but I think it was open actually. The lights were on. Sushi place is open. Looks like Gents Barbershop is closed. Seems to be closed. I think it's safe to say restaurants and most retail stores are all open. Here on Bay Street as well. But then again, Sleep Country is closed. So they get to enjoy the holiday, people who work there. This hair salon is open. So sometimes a barber shop might be closed, but a hair salon might be open. I could just title this video, Ken Walks Around Noticing Things. What will Ken notice? I noticed Bay Street is pretty busy. I think more and more people are discovering Bay Street as a nice alternative to walk down with its wider sidewalks and trees. Maybe not as many interesting characters that they might come across as they walk down. I admit I've taken a few walks down Bay Street just because I wasn't in the mood to deal with the Yonge Street flavor at the time, at the moment. Crossing College. I'm walking past the metro, but I'll go down a bit further and we'll go back to Yonge Street and then head north. So we'll do sort of like an actual loop. Walking past the big College Park complex here. Looks like something new is coming here. Pizza open. Does Pizza ever close? More places. Yeah, this subway is open, so I imagine that other subway was also open then, just as I thought it was. Those two subway locations are actually pretty close together. Oh, this 24-hour fine foods market has closed down here. This was here forever. Temporary closed for renovation. Okay, this is like a little market, 24-hour market. Well, hopefully they actually do reopen. I know oftentimes when they say temporarily closed for renovations, that's just a horde of BS and they never actually reopen. But this Rabba opened up not too long ago, which is also a 24-hour market. And I always wondered how it would affect its neighbor. There we go, Fine Foods Market. Well, let's see if they really do reopen after September. It says they'll be closed for the month of September. Maybe they're going to try and come up with something to lure people away from the Rabba here. I imagine their prices probably weren't any better than the Rabbas. Rabba is a pretty expensive place, and Fine Foods Market sounded like it was most likely also on the pricey side. Not that I ever went there, but that's just a hunch. Thought it was handy for the people on that corner having two 24-hour markets. That looks to be closed. Moss Coffee. It's certainly dark in there in any case. But then again, there's people here. Maybe it is open. What do I know? Kaka Sushi seems to be open. Whew, I'm back out in the sun here. Let's walk along Elm Street back over to Yonge. Looks like Egg Smart is closed. There's a bunch of restaurants along here. This one's actually closed, Donatello. This one might be closed too. Yeah, the gate is closed. As is this one. What's up with Elm Street? All these sort of fancy restaurants decided to take the day off. Flippers also closed. Yeah, everything on Elm Street is closed. Kind of surprising. Is this little market open? Can't tell. I can't tell. Looks like the Italian deli is also closed. What about the B-Town Pizza, where you can get your Brampton style pizza? Oh, they seem to be open. It is a pizza place. I would imagine most pizza places are open. And what about the famous Barbarian Steakhouse here? Looks like they're open. They decided to buck the trend. They're getting all the business on Elm Street. Let's take a peek down towards Yonge and Dundas. I think it's business as usual down there. Seems to be lots of people, lots of cars. I hear all the music. I would say Yonge and Dundas is its usual self today. But we're going north, back up to that Metro store at College Park. Holy pedestrians. Zanzibar is open. Of course, all this stuff is most definitely open.
Poi dopo vedremo le cose da comprare, vediamo milioni
Open, 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 and open. And don't forget open.
It's a lot further.
Super Eater. All right, calm down. Holy cow. Everyone is just doing Yonge Street today.
We say no.
Well, of course, the bank is not open. It's hard to find a good time when they are open, actually. Even when you think they should be open, they're not open on other days of the week, normal work days. And a big IKEA store at the base of the Aura here, open.
Yeah, that's where the net is. That's not here. That is all good.
Well, obviously not everyone is stuck working today. All these people are able to be out enjoying the day.
Goodbye, have a good day.
Here we are back at College Park. I could enter there, but I'll go around to the other entrance on College Street. I bet you the grocery store is rammed. There's actually another grocery store on site here, the Farm Boy. They're probably both rammed. Whoa. Boots are too high for her to walk on. Gotta watch out for the kamikaze food delivery guys. We're back at Yonge and College / Carlton. So I'm heading in here to go to the Metro store. So hope you enjoyed the Labor Day walk around downtown. We just sort of did a big rectangle route, I guess you could say. Starting at Carlton and College, or Church I should say, Carlton and Church. And then making way to Yonge Street, up Yonge, over to St. Joseph, and then over to Bay and down Bay to Elm. Closed down Elm for the most part. And then back to Yonge and back up here to College. So I'm gonna head inside. I hope you enjoyed. As I said, leave a comment down below. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Also make sure you hit that notification bell. That way you won't miss any of my videos. And if you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal as well as the Be My Merch store. And you can also support the channel by becoming a channel member or by sending a super thanks if you prefer. And you can find me on Instagram also under K Continuum. Looks like the food court is closed. But the Metro is open. So thanks for watching, and thanks to all the channel members. And be sure to keep checking back, because as always, I will continue. Yeah, that was absolute chaos. Look at the lineup. That lineup goes all the way down the aisle, almost to the other end. Like 25 plus people in the line. And the self-checkouts had a similar lineup. I almost bailed. I was almost like, no, I don't want to deal with this, but I just toughed it out. Got what I came for. But yeah, absolute madness on Labor Day in the Metro store at College Park.